Hello. If it's not 4:10, I know I'm so late today. But if it's not 4:10 on September 5th, or if the little live light isn't on, I can't understand what you're saying. Um, what happens is these videos get stored and you can watch the live stream, but I'll be interacting with people who are leaving comments in real time. And then if you leave a comment, um, we're no longer live, so I'm not here to see it. So if you're coming across this and it's not like, 4:10 on Thursday, September 5th, then you are probably not going to be able to leave a comment that gets answered. Hey, Dan, how's it going? What's new with you? Oh, I'm going to have to bug out on you guys and get some water here pretty soon. We're all live, which is a good thing these days, right? Tested again for COVID, just in case. Just got paid. You sound like a ZZ Top song. Are you nationwide as well? I'm nationwide. I think this is worldwide. Is there something in my teeth? It's just a shadow. After that whole like spinach thing, I'm so paranoid that everybody's just going to think I have a dead tooth again, which is like super weird. Like, not that, I want to be like, not that there's anything wrong with it. Dental care is hard to come by and not everybody has, dental privilege. It's a real thing. And then, I just genetically got really good teeth. Am I awake yet? Fuck no, dude. I am not even close to awake. Like I said, I tested for COVID again today. Negative. No dice. I can't sleep until this weekend. And even this weekend, it's not like I can sleep. I've spent all of today like setting calendar alerts for myself for the weekend so I don't forget to like deposit checks and go grocery shopping. And I'm trying to develop a new system where like I hit Costco first thing in the morning so that there are no children around, because fuck your kids. Anybody bringing kids to Costco, fuck your kids. Seriously. I have never once seen a well-behaved child in a Costco. So to all of you, stop it. And then I think I'm going to order my Whole Foods like ahead of time. But you know what? I probably won't. I'll probably still just go to Costco and then go to Whole Foods, and it ends up taking me like all goddamn Saturday morning to grocery shop. Because I hate the way other people pick out my food. I think it's because I was a professional shopper. I've been shopping for rock stars for so long now that I've done so much grocery shopping that I am a better professional grocery shopper than any professional grocery shopper out there. I don't care how long you've been doing Instant Cart. I've been doing this shit for 25 years, and I've been doing it at like literal rock star level. So I have standards. I'm weirdly picky about my groceries. Some stores have hours for people with sensory issues. I can't though. That would be rude, right? It's not like I have a sensory issue. I just don't want to deal with your shitty kids. My sensory issue is children who aren't well behaved. I mean, if your kids were there and just shopping like normal people shop, I'd have no fucking problem with your kids. It's not like I hate kids. I hate poorly behaved children whose parents don't do anything to discipline them in a grocery store, much less a Costco, right? I mean, at least typically, here's the thing, right? In a grocery store, everybody's kind of a little bit closer and has a little bit more expectation of some sort of societal norms. But at a Costco, it's a big box store, right? So it's part warehouse. So there's like this weird like jungle gym sort of feeling to it. And people seem to think it's totally fine because it's a warehouse and it's a bigger place, that it's okay for your kids to just run wild. And it's like, no, stop it. Leave your kids at home. They suck. But yeah, it would be unfair for me to take advantage of a time for disabled people, because I'm not disabled. I'm just cranky. I'm just a cranky bitch. Is there anything going on this weekend? What am I missing? I posted the metal shows. Did anybody see? PJ, did you see them? I posted them. Didn't I? It happened, right? I should double check, like I'm not crazy. Or like there wasn't a glitch. Oh my God, you guys. My friend posed in front of the... Never mind. So you know how like during the riots, Trump went and posed in front of a church near the White House? A friend of mine just went and did the Trump Bible pose in front of the same spot, and I'm fucking dead. Oh, so dead. Who knew that was going to be a thing, huh? Jesus. I did not see that coming. Come on. Where's the thing? Where's that post? Well, shit. Why can't I find it? Oh, hey, 420 already. Almost. There's the concert calendar. All right. What's happening this weekend? There's metal all over the place. Who is this band, The Hunted? They're playing at San Francisco State. And then they're running across the bridge and playing someplace in Oakland. I got to hand it to them. That's kind of awesome. Let's see. Niviane is at the Phoenix in Petaluma, which is too far for this bitch. Is it Ghost? It has to be Ghost, right? Because it can't be Ghost. And Death Valley High are at the DNA on Saturday. So if I get my shit together, that's the show I'll go to because I love Death Valley High. But there's also, let's see, Sepsis in Santa Cruz, Doomsday at Eli's Mile High Club. Oh, God. Did anybody see this How to Destroy the Universe Fest coming to the Golden Bull in Oakland on Saturday? It's got like 9 bands. It looks like a whole day of absolutely insane. Sunday Frolic is at the Cornerstone. Yeah, it's not a bad weekend. Our grandkids included. He's a handful. Yes. Don't bring him to fucking Costco if he's a goddamn handful. Like I said, I am adjusting my life to avoid your children. So I will set an alarm for Saturday morning at like stupid o'clock so that I can get to Costco ahead of your children. Because unruly children are difficult to get out the door that early on a Saturday. Mike, what's up, dude? How you doing? You guys have a show coming up, don't you? Are you just in one band now, or do you have more than one? I saw Lamori post a flyer and then tag you in it, like you were going to be in that band, but it wasn't your band. PJ, good luck getting your kid into Concord Costco while I'm there. You have to learn Smoke on the Water by Saturday? Oh my God, who are you jamming with? Kids with autism are unpredictable. Yeah. But you know what? All kids are unpredictable and none of them need to be at Costco. That's all. I'm not going to differentiate between children on the spectrum and children in general because none of them belong in Costco. If your child cannot physically and emotionally manage to stay within the 2-foot radius of your cart at all times or conduct themselves appropriately when outside the radius of your cart, then your child has no business being anywhere near the Costco. No, there's zero reason. No, not for my autograph, not for nothing. Also, no one is coming to Costco for my autograph on a Saturday. But I will say that occasionally I get recognized at Costco on Saturdays, and because I literally roll out of bed, sometimes I don't even brush my teeth. I just like go straight to Costco with a cup of coffee in my hand and hope that the coffee breath like overpowers anything that's going on in my situation. When somebody recognizes me at checkout, I'm just like, oh, dude, just pretend you didn't see me. Oh, I'm sorry you lost me too, Mike. Where are you gigging on Saturday? And who are you gigging with? Because I know your band's not playing Smoke on the Water. The Concord Costco has cheeseburgers at their food court. Lakeport? Lakeport? Like up in the Canocti area? Is that where that is? I don't do Costco food court. There's nothing at the Costco food court that's even remotely delicious. It's basically like high-end cafeteria food. And I don't need any of that. One time I went to Costco in San Diego because there's actually something called an executive Costco in San Diego that never has children. And it's supposed to be like businesses only, but it has all the stuff that a regular Costco would have. So I'm at this Costco in San Diego and I'm like, I need some fucking coffee, dude. It is too early for Costco because my friends get up earlier than I do to go to Costco because they're insane. And I went to the Costco food court to just get some coffee, and they don't have any real coffee. All they have is coffee that's made from formulas. It's like prepackaged, like just add water sort of coffee. And it's like lattes and shit that's chock full of garbage chemicals and sugar. No $1.50 hot dog and soda. No, never. No. I mean, I know that that's like a thing for a lot of people. There's a merch company that I follow on Instagram that are hilarious, Meth Syndicate, and they're obsessed with the Costco hot dog and a soda deal, like obsessed. And I don't get it. It's not for me, man. What's the difference between a Costco dog and soda and street meat that you get outside a concert? I mean, the street meat smells better. At least it's wrapped in bacon. I don't do either one, honestly. It's just terrible for you. My little brother ate a lot of hot dogs and drank a lot of soda, and he got kidney stones. I'm not saying that that's like cause and effect. I'm just saying I don't think it's a healthy diet. Since 1985, that's how long that the deal's been in place, the Costco thing. Yeah, I mean, it's just not for everyone. If you are even remotely concerned for your dietary health, don't eat fucking hot dogs from Costco. Don't eat anything from the Costco food court. Costco food court is not like a healthy dinner or lunch or healthy meal in any way, shape, or form. It's like a treat meal. And if I'm gonna have a treat meal, it's goddamn sure gonna be better than a fucking Costco hot dog or pizza or cheeseburger, right? Yeah, hot dogs are bad for you, period. Like Mike is right. Get a quality sausage. Get a good Polish. Asian pears. Way to change the subject, Dan. How are we on this? Oh, because I had so many errands to run. I know. Yeah, so my whole weekend, as much as I wanna just sleep right through it, PJ, I cannot. When I got home from Seattle, I basically did that. I got home from Seattle, I put on my PJs, and I started to, like, eat dinner and watch some TV, and then I literally fell asleep on the couch and was like, "Fuck this, I'm going to bed." It was like 6:30. That's how tired I am. And like I said, I still testing negative for COVID, so it's definitely not COVID. I'm just old, I think. But Mike, how many bands are you in? That's what I wanna know. And are you whenever Steve reactivates Defiance and does Defiance shows, are you on that? Oh, yeah, I saw the Phil was filling in. He puts the fill and filling in every time. You're in 4 fucking bands now, dude. How do you have time to practice law? I saw that because, what's his name? Tom has, like, a busted finger or something. You are Defiance. So Steve's out is what you're saying? Is this like a LA Gun situation or a Rat situation where or an Accept situation where, like, the main band guys have, like, split and each one of them has a version of the band? Hey, Kevin. Yeah, you're right, Kevin. Costco pizza and hot dogs are fast food. It's literally fast food. So I have a really hard time getting excited about it. It's not even delicious fast food. It's just low price. It's the dollar menu. It's like a good dollar menu. And it's not even a dollar menu. It's shit costs more than that. You just keep it going. Okay, so last time Defiance played, it was you and Steve together, right? I can't remember if I made it. I feel like I was out of town when you guys played. Casper's is your favorite for dog. You know what? Honestly, if I'm gonna have a hot dog, I'm probably gonna make it myself. And I'm gonna get I'm gonna get some organic kosher dog from somewhere, like Applegate Farms or something. Without Steve, Jim, and Matt, there's no Defiance. Okay. And you. I love how you keep doing official. Is there another Defiance out there? Is this like a sacrilege thing where there was an English one and there's like a Bay Area one? And you guys don't have any Defiance on the horizon, huh? Or do you? Is there another Defiance gig on the horizon, or are you guys like, that was good last year and we're done? Was it last year or was it early this year? Fuck, this year's flying by, dude. You put hot dogs in mac and cheese. Well, Dan, most children do. Oh, it was defaulting to official. Oh, I see what you mean. You know what? Sometimes my phone will do weird shit like that. It has some things like pre-programmed into it. And I don't know if somebody was fucking with me and like set some presets into my phone or whatever, but whenever I type my little brother's name, it always autocorrects to all caps. I can't type OMW, it automatically autocorrects to on my way. You're going on tour with Tankard in March? Is there a Bay Area date that I don't know about? Because it's not on my concert calendar. Let me double check. Where is my Google Drive? Oh, this is the wrong Google Drive. I'm all, where is it? Oh, Europe only. Okay. No warm-up gig in the Bay? Because that would be cool. Of course you're going to play a warm-up gig in the Bay. You're going to book it at like Vinny's or something, and you just can't say anything yet because it's not official. I would love to go. If I had enough vacation days, I would hop over to Europe all the time. That has been the most difficult thing about going back to radio is that and you know, I mean, you know, when you work in touring or you work in concerts, you just pick time that you're not going to work, or you just have time off in between gigs. You know, when I was out with Jackson Brown, he doesn't tour like crazy because he's older and he's, let's face it, he's rich as fuck. So he tours for fun. And he would go out for like 3 weeks at a time. And then we'd all have like 3 weeks off, you know, and there's plenty of time in 3 weeks off to pop over to Europe. And, you know, he paid us well enough that I could afford to not have to work during those 3 weeks if I didn't want to. So I kind of got spoiled having that freedom to choose when I worked and when I didn't. But radio, as you all know, is every day. So you can only take 2 weeks at a time. I only get 2 weeks for the whole year. So I can only take really, I honestly can only really take long weekends. Otherwise, good luck, you know? Why did I go back to radio if I had a good job before? Because I love it, Dan. It's it's my thing. This is my family. There was when I quit radio, I didn't want to quit radio. It's just that circumstances here became untenable. Um and so I was always wanting to come back, and I was always trying to find a way to come back, but the company, didn't have the budget, or it wasn't the right time, or there wasn't the time slot that I wanted. And then all those things aligned shortly after I spent a year touring with Jackson Browne and was looking forward to another year touring with Jackson Browne. So, Sophie's choice, right? Um, that was the hard, like I said, that was the hardest part. And I'm adjusting. No job is perfect. Everything, if it was perfect, then I'd have more time off. But it's as close to perfect as it can be here. I love everybody I work with. I love what I do. And I really can't complain. The flip side to working for Jackson Browne is that um, I was going to end up in a weird spot where when I was working for Live Nation, um, and other promoters locally, I didn't make enough money. So I made enough money, but I didn't make so much that I could afford to buy. I still qualified for subsidized healthcare. And then when I was working for Jackson, I made too much money to qualify for subsidized healthcare. So I was going to end up in a spot where I needed to stop working so that I could be in that balanced area of subsidized healthcare. It's complicated. Defiance is one of the Bay's old school bands. Do you remember Hyperterex? I do not remember Hyperterex. Mike, do you remember Hyperterex? You saw him at the Omni? I mean, there were a shit ton of bands for a very long time. Actually, Defiance sounds like kind of a cool name for a band. I'm glad you popped in too. Thanks for come by anytime, Mike. I'll pepper you with questions again. And when you're ready to announce that warm-up gig before you guys go to Europe, let me know. Could not ask for more. I can ask for more vacation time, Dan, but what happened is when I came back, I was asking for other things. So in the terms of in the contract negotiation I had with the company when I did come back, there were other things I was asking for that were more important at the time than my vacation time. And it was a 2-year contract. So that'll be my first question in December is, can I please have a lot more vacation time? But until then, there's not really anything I can do about it except make the most of the time that I have and enjoy my job. Last show from the old school places was Forbidden at the Berkeley Square. What do you mean last show from the old school places? I don't think Berkeley Square was last to close, was it? Do I love my unofficial intern the most? Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it. I know you will. You know how to reach me. And of course, you're always welcome to pop in. We can talk about all your bands. And you never know. I mean, Dan here is in Chico, so he might make it up to Lakeport for an old Bay Area style show. Hey, Red, what's happening, man? It seems like finding your dream job is something not many do find. That is true. That is very true. Dream jobs are few and far between. And I think that's because corporations are buying up everything, you know? This would be more of a dream job if we weren't owned by a giant corporation that makes decisions from on high and then lets them trickle down. And I think that's the case for anyone working in an artistic field. Yeah, you could, Dan. What's the show Mike's talking about? It's this it's like Union Jack and the Rippers and who else? Let's see. I think it's on Demel's Insta. It's probably on Mike's too. I could probably scroll on Insta for 5 minutes and it'll turn up. But who's got 5 minutes, right? Oh my God. Every time I turn around, another band is going to the Buc-ee's truck stop and getting onesies. These Buc-ee's onesies are selling like hotcakes, folks. Hot cakes. Let's see. I'll bet it's in Phil's or it's in Tom's. Oh, maybe he just put it in stories. Let's try Tom. Well, here's the injury that got Phil Demel to fill in. Let's see. God, these guys just don't advertise their shit, do they? Musicians are terrible at social media. All right, let's see who else would be involved in this. Dylan. Oh, maybe the band page, huh? Fucking hell. This is a lot more difficult than I thought. You know, Kevin, I vaguely remember Contempt. Vaguely. Yeah, big corporations have ruined everything for everyone, to be honest. I don't know if you noticed, but you know, they recently Trump got a tax break. So they only pay 15% in taxes, which is also a tax break for the uber rich because the uber rich have all incorporated themselves now. All the billionaires, like they have their own personal wealth, but the vast majority of their actual wealth is in corporations, is incorporated so that they're paying a lower tax rate. And we wonder why small businesses are being crushed, and it's partly because we keep giving corporations tax breaks and small businesses are struggling to even pretend to try and keep up. You know, why would people go to a bakery for a muffin when they could go to Walmart for that same muffin at half the price and then get all the other crap they need while they're at Walmart? You know, that's how the average American thinks. They don't give a shit what's in their fucking muffin because they're not taking the time to taste what they're eating or give a shit about the health content of whatever it is they're eating, much less sourcing what they're eating and where it came from and how. So that's how America's just degraded by corporations in general. All right, let's see. Union Jack and the Ripper. Whoops. And the Rippers. There we go. Where's their fucking website? Of course, they don't have a website, but they got a Facebook. No wonder I couldn't find them on Instagram. All right, here we got. Nope, this is a different day. Jesus Christ. Well, they're gigging on September 21st at Vinny's in Concord. So for all of us who are local, that's Union Jack and the Rippers plus Grandma and somebody whose name I can't read because they have a impossible to read logo. This must be it. Okay. Smoke on the Water, a tribute to classic metal and rock, featuring Union Jack and the Rippers at the Smoke on the Water Fest, September 7th, with Immortalica, Unearthed, and Love Drive. Holy shit. Why are they making it so hard to find out where this place is? No wonder nobody's going to see your fucking band. Oh, Freedom Riders Motorcycle Clubhouse. There we go. Sorry. I get a little aggravated sometimes and shout. You knew that, right? There's a Debbie Abono documentary in the works. I think it's one of her nieces is putting it together. That's what I've been told. Yeah, well, a dream job could have been working for CBS Records 30, 40, 50 years ago, but now there is no the record label jobs are few and far between and they are stressful. Yeah, Kevin, that's the one I think I just mentioned at Vinny's. Let's see. Oh, wait, but that's not AC/DC. So I don't think, well, if they're playing with an AC/DC cover band, I don't see it listed here. Maybe that show already happened. Yeah. Meanwhile, the rich get richer and they complain about estate taxes. What? Okay. I'll never get past the fact that bitch who was on the Board of Education, who basically was doing all she could to just promote fucking voucher system to try and eradicate our public school system even further. Her family has like 7 mega yachts. How many fucking mega yachts does one family need? What are you gonna do? Oh, PJ, you should post that. You have video of Violence singing Happy Birthday to Debbie at One Step Beyond in Santa Clara? Yeah. Yeah, you should really post that. Dokken is at Ironstone on the 13th. Ironstone is way too far to drive, and Don Dokken doesn't sound great these days. Last time I saw Dokken, it was at the Vallejo Fairgrounds, and it was a long time ago, and Don needed a rocking chair because he was great at telling stories, but he was terrible at singing Dokken songs. Now, I will take that back when he is acoustic because that's his jam now. I really wish Don would just do more acoustic. He opened for Y&T at the Fillmore on a couple of occasions. And that's the perfect thing for him, right? Sitting in a rocking chair, playing guitar, singing acoustic and telling stories. He sounds great there. But when he's trying to do like Dokken songs at full force, it's not good. Yeah. It's funny because like most people who get that rich would not like if I were that rich, I wouldn't be able to stay that rich. Like I just could not conceive of needing that much money. I would definitely have to be like dropping cars on people and stuff. You get a car, I would fucking go full Oprah. Now I get Oprah, right? Like Oprah was almost a billionaire at that point, right? And she was just like giving out cars like they were Pez. Fuck yeah, Oprah. Keep giving out cars, bitch. Why'd you stop that? Was Lynch Mob great at the Guild a couple weeks ago? Because they were great at the Smoky Mountains too. I saw them at the Mountain Fest. The hard part for me was that the same day that the same day that Lynch Mob played at the Guild, Y&T played at the Cornerstone. So, I could never choose Lynch Mob over Y&T. Not in a million years. Plus, Y&T is not going to be on the Monsters of Rock cruise this year. I think they're coming back next year. And so I wasn't going to get to see Y&T for a minute. And, I can't go that long without seeing them. It turns out there's a handful of Bay Area bands like Metallica and Y&T that I can't go a year without seeing. And if I do, I start to get itchy. You got any more of that Y&T? I need some. Which is actually probably going to be my excuse at some point for a vacation to Italy now that Dave and Jill are moving over there. You couldn't swim through your money like Scrooge McDuck. Yeah, also money's dirty. Not to mention nobody has that much cash anymore. It'd be creepy. Yeah, I mean, how much drip can you wear at one time, right? How ridiculous. How it's remember the movie Brewster's Millions with Richard Pryor where he had to spend $30 million in 30 days to get $300 million? And it was just like the perfect example of stupid money. There are people that are living that way every day now. That's their life. It's so dumb. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would be the world's biggest anonymous philanthropist because the worst people come out of the woodwork and demanding that you just give them shit too. But yeah, I would 100% just be like, whose day can I make today? When I was in the pit at Metallica, before I got in the pit, I should say, before I got in the snake pit, I was on the floor and I had a handful of like real Metallica guitar picks in my pocket. And so I was going around like finding people's kids who were like waiting along the barricade for the band to walk by so they could see them. And I would be like, tap, tap, tap. Hey, you want a guitar pick? And I would give them a Metallica guitar pick and they'd look at me like, what the fuck, crazy lady? But then their parents would see it and be like, is that real? And I'd be like, it's totally real, dude. And that was fun. And even if that kid doesn't realize how cool that is right now, they will one day. When my sister turned 10, I basically kidnapped her. And because I was the older sister, I was like 20 something when my sister turned 10. And I think I was like 22. And I dyed her hair purple, which was great because she had like butt length, blonde, white blonde hair. And I bought like 4 pots of Manic Panic and just purpled her hair entirely. My mom was pissed. So I purpled her hair and I took her to see Green Day at Henry J. Kaiser. And she was like, whoa. I took her in the pit and I took her up to the roof and we were all over the place hanging out and having fun. And then she went to school the next day with her Green Day shirt on and was telling everybody how she saw Green Day last night. And because I was like, tell your friends, they'll think it's cool. And she came home and she was like, people didn't really understand. She's like, they didn't really know who Green Day was. And I was like, wait, just wait. One of these days, you're going to bust out that you saw Green Day at the Henry J. Kaiser with Pansy Division. And people are going to be like, wait, what? And sure enough, they did. Yeah. It was funny because then a few years later, the Frustrators played at the Fillmore when I was working. And so I told Mike Dirnt the story. And this was before I was friends with his cousin. So like we didn't know each other or anything. And I told him that story and he was like, that is cool. And he like autographed something for my sister. And I brought it to her and I was like, remember that Green Day show? And she was like, duh. Because at this point, it was like years later. And I was like, Mike Dirnt from Green Day says hi. And she was like, shut up. What? Hey, Brian. Welcome back. What's up, Jug? I thought I'd go a little late today because it seems like more people have time to check in late. I might just push this back and do it later in the day so I can get more stuff done ahead of time. Like, honestly, right now, I still have to go through my Carrie King interview and make notes. And I have to go through my Steve Gorman podcast and make notes and send it up to the digital team. And I have to upload the podcast and edit the podcast. Hey, Chew. Chew, you're usually Johnny on the spot. You're running late today too, bud. So, yeah. No Paso Robles shuffle tomorrow. You don't have to get up at 3:30 a.m. You get to sleep until 5. I don't know how you do it, brother. They asked me a long time ago at one point when I was at KMBR if I wanted to be the backup for the morning show producer so that I could move into a morning show position. And I was like, can I think about it? And I thought about it and I was like, God, as much as like an ambitious person as I was, I just knew better than to think that I was going to be that person who could get up every morning at fucking 4:00 and come in and do radio. I was like, nope. Afternoons are nothing. Which brings me back to what we were talking about earlier when I finally came back to the station. And it was because Chasta called me and she's like, I got that thing that I know you want. Because I was like, I'm not coming back for nights. You know, I want afternoons. Afternoons is the thing I've always wanted, you know, and I got it in 2005 and they took it away from me in 2011. And I spent 4 years trying to get back to afternoons, just getting fucked and fucked and fucked and fucked. And after 4 years of just getting bent over on nights, I finally walked away. So kudos to Chasta for still thinking about me and for knowing that that was the thing that I wanted and for believing that it was also the thing that the Boneheads wanted. You know, I mean, she wouldn't have done it if she didn't think that this was what people in the Bay wanted to hear. And then there's the added bonus of her doing middays and me doing afternoons and us having 2 women on major market station back to back, because that doesn't happen anywhere else. I don't even know if that's happening here anywhere. Although it's hard to tell what the lineups are anymore. I should really research our competition, huh? I actually spend way more time focusing just on what our listeners want and what's going on in general. Like, I really don't pay a lot of attention to the competition, and people tell me what's going on with other stations. Hobson, I will try to write a book, I promise you. But look at how little time I have. Right now, I'm sitting on a Carrie King interview and a Steve Gorman podcast that I haven't been able to finish because I've been telling you guys stories and because I'm fucking tired. Though every day I get home, I eat a snack and I go to sleep. This whole week, I have been just like exhausted. Let me see if it says, what does my Apple say? Yeah, there you go. Look at that shit. 9 hours and 52 minutes of sleep last night. And then I don't have the other days, but like that was last night. And 10 hours and 40 minutes the night before. And then I wasn't wearing my watch, or my watch must have crapped out or whatever. But oh, that's probably what happened. My watch probably died in the middle of the night while I was asleep, so it didn't record the data. But I guarantee you I slept a similar amount of time every other night since I've been back from Seattle, because I'm that fucking tired. And I don't know if you were here, Brian, when I told you I tested negative again for COVID today. So I definitely don't have COVID. I can't catch COVID. Not even Metallica could give me COVID this time around. I got to get up early to make the big bucks in the big truck. You know what? Honestly, in radio, PJ, you also have to get up early to make the big bucks. I do not make big bucks in afternoons on 107.7 The Bone, but I make enough bucks to survive in the Bay. Plus, I mean, honestly, okay, this might be TMI, but that was part of the conversation Chasta and I had, because she was like, budget-wise, we are not offering a lot of money for the afternoons. And I was like, afternoons is what I do. It's what I want. It's who I am. And after working in this industry for as long as I have and having gotten in my house 20 years ago, I'm just in a spot where I can live on less money. And it's worth it to me to live on less money to do something that makes me happy. And this is what makes me happy. Thanks, Brian. It took you 4 days to recover from 4 days of drinking? Jesus, how much did you drink? My record is on skip with the tiredness. I'm taking vitamin B, and I'm taking well, I don't know if I'm taking all the stuff. I'm drinking green tea like it's going out of style. I am just exhausted. I'm going to have my, I need a PayPal tip jar. Apparently you can pay me through through, what do you call it? Not that I'm soliciting tips, but I think there is a way. Because remember, we were here and somebody like gave me $2 on a YouTube. I think YouTube will let you like just give people money. Oh, and I have YouTube memberships now. So I guess if you wanted to do a YouTube membership, you could do that. I think the cheapest one is like $2 a month or $5 a month. Let me see. I was just looking at it today because I was checking to see if I had made it to, that level of viewership where I can do commercials on my YouTube, but nope. You know how I've been like a couple hundred watch hours away from the 4,000 watch hour mark for months now? Yeah. Now I have 3,890 public watch hours over the last 365 days, and I need 4,000 watch hours over the last. So I need literally 110 more public watch hours before I can do ads on my page. All right, let's see. Fucking memberships. I feel like memberships are a weird thing, but I guess if you want to give me your money, I'm not going to complain. Oh, it keeps telling me I have to finish setup for memberships. Oh, okay. So there's a $2.99, a $6.99, and a $24.99, which I don't understand why. Because I don't know. I just have to create more content or something. It wants me to customize the default perks. The fuck are the default perks? I don't know. It wants me to upload my own emojis. I don't know. I got to get somebody to help me set this shit up because it's confusing. And I really don't want to earn income with memberships. I'd rather earn income with like ads on my interviews because I feel like that's the least painful exchange to earn money, right? I actually have a Nikki Blakk PayPal. I suppose if you really wanted to, you could probably pay me there. Thanks, Brian. I actually haven't been as snotty today as I have been most of the week. Twitch, $10 for the bra strap. No. PJ, it happened on YouTube as well. But the person on YouTube didn't ask to see my bra strap like the person on Twitch did because that was weird. And you know what? Twitch is just dying. I don't think anybody's on my Twitch right now. Is anybody on Twitch? Let's see. Oh, Twitch has one viewer. But I don't know who it is because they have not commented. Hello, Twitch person. Are you on? If you are on Twitch, say hi. Say hi to the class. YouTube super stickers. And this is a leap year. What does leap year have to do with it? Ever since YouTube went more monetized, it seems like it's too much of a hassle, especially when you do the memberships. Hell of hassle, right? Well, the thing is that I know I have had the watch hours. I am like so sure about it. Like when I look at my analytics, everything's just been going up, and I've been posting consistently. And, here I have 2,000 more views than usual in the last month. I've been averaging 350 to 450 watch time hours per month. I'm up for subscribers every month. So I don't see how I could not have just blown through this fucking 4,000 watch hour goal. I mean, I literally have 400 watch hours a month. So how many months of that do I need to get to 4,000? 10? Well, maybe we'll get a boost when I do this Carrie King interview and Just hope for the best, and then I can monetize videos. Although I really need to figure out, I need to organize these folders better. You know what's funny is that my most popular video is almost always Carrie King and Mick from Slipknot. This interview I did in 2013. I did this interview like literally 11 years ago, and it's still every month is like one of my most viewed. It's always in the top 10, if not the top video viewed on my page. I don't know how I had the winning formula there, but apparently I did. Anywho, let's not make it all about me, right? Hey, Justin, I'm good. How are you today? Coffee disaster. You had a Keurig on and you didn't put the mug in. Ah, that's a mess. Also, Keurigs are terrible for the environment, Red. I'm just going to say, as the bitch who brings her shit in a commute mug. Wheeze the juice. Oh my God. Did you just quote Pauly Shore? I'm not mad at it. I'm just confirming. You try and watch the whole show. Aw, Red, stop. Thank you. You know, I started bringing this on vacations too. Like I was already bringing this because you can get water refill stations all over the place. But now so many coffee places will let you use your own mug that I started bringing this on vacations too. And I figured out that even with my in-room coffee, if I was staying at a hotel where the in-room coffee was a plastic or paper cup, I could just make the coffee in that cup and then put it in here. And not only would it stay hot longer, but I would only have to use one cup throughout the whole stay instead of using one cup per day. So, you know, reduce, reuse, recycle. Oh, you have the reusable pods? Good on ya. Proud of you for that. When we had a Keurig machine on tour, my friend Jason, who was my touring partner, he was the other road manager. He had this blend of coffee that was fucking delightful and also came in like a compostable Keurig cup. And those were delightful. Oh, look, Moon Pie is back to make us all talk about poop again. I feel like once a week to go on a poop jaunt is enough, Moon Pie. Can we talk about some other bodily function that'll make you happy? Sorry about what coffee does to you, though, because coffee keeps me awake. A travel mug that looks like a can of WD-40? That's kind of awesome. This is still my favorite one. I got this at Starbucks like a jillion years ago, obviously, because look at how wrecked it is. But it has still been outside of a Stanley. I do have a Stanley coffee press. It's like a Stanley thermos coffee press. And honestly, it keeps things too hot. This is just the right amount of like keeps it hot for hours and is still drinkable when you're done. Have I ever had Ellefson's coffee? No. But also, I've seen his cum face, and so I don't think I could ever do anything with Dave Ellefson ever again. I mean, being married for 25 years and calling yourself a pastor and then like jerking off online to a teenage fan, it's really hard to get out of my head because it's super, super, super dirtbaggy. And coffee looks like dirt. So if I'm thinking about a dirt bag while I'm drinking something made from a bag of dirt, it takes away all the fun. Thanks, Moon Pie. Let us know where your bowels are in a week. I mean, unless you've got another topic that you're okay to talk about. I mean, I don't want to push you. If poop is your jam, then poop is your jam. See, now this is who I should charge. Because clearly he's fulfilling a need by coming in here to talk about the scat. Would it be ironic if I told him to scat? Scat, get out of here. I'm not going to king shame, you know. I might be a little judgy, but whatever floats your boat. It's vacuum sealed. Doesn't matter, man. Visuals in my head. We all saw it. That video got memed and went around the world so far and so fast. I mean, I don't even think he'd reach for a sock by the time we all saw what he looked like. And then there was like, it was so weird. There was all this like, Dave's the best guy ever. How dare you like criticize him? And I was like, is he though? Is he? Would his wife agree with you? Anyone with a foot fetish? Dan? I have been at the top of foot fetish lists for years, apparently. At one point, I went to Google Nikki Blakk for something. I was trying to look up something that I'd done. And the drop-down menu, you know how like the predictive text, the Google predictive text that would produce a drop-down menu when you started to type something. I typed in Nikki Blakk, and the drop-down menu, the top thing was not radio, was not metal. It was feet. And that was fucking creepy. Because I feel like I do a lot of things. And having feet is just one of them. But again, not my job to kink shame. Whatever floats your boat. And I believe of the people who have fetishes, 30% are foot fetishists. And then once you've got the foot fetish, you know, there are so many ways to break it down. There are people who apparently are very into my bunions. There are people who want to have sex with feet. And then there are people who are into foot worship and they just want to worship feet. There's a lot of variation in the foot fetish industry. I have never resorted to like the feet pics, right? That's like the big thing right now. Everybody's like, you can make money selling feet pics. I've never done it. That said, I'm not entirely above it. I mean, if somebody wanted to send me a really nice pair of Prada sandals and say, these are yours, you just have to send me, I would just like for you to send me some photos of you in them. That would work. Now, if you sent me some like janky flip-flops and were like, baby, take pictures, I'd be like, no. So we've all got a line. Everybody's got a price, minus Prada. You know what, Red? I wasn't sure how I'd react to it either until it kept happening. At first, I thought it was the same guy. I thought I was being harassed by a guy who was like super into the bunions on my feet. And one day I finally was like, dude, lay off. And he's like, what? And I was like, I'm tired of this. And he was like, this is my first time. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I started paying attention and it was all different names, different profiles, different people. I don't know how I got on that list, but I was on that list. And at that point, you roll with the punches, you know? Like, why would I get upset if somebody, like, let's face it, dudes are out there jerking off to all kinds of things. Somebody's fapping right now. That's why they're not commenting. I don't need to be involved in it. if I am tangentially involved in it because you happen to be watching me while it's happening, that's not my business, not my problem, but I'm not going to sit here and worry about it, right? Where do you send the sandals? 750 Battery Street, San Francisco, 94111. But they better be fucking good. Don't be sending me some ugly ass shit because I will return it. Dan, you dated a woman with a foot fetish? So she was all up on your feet? Because I feel like dudes, I hope you got pedicures for her at the very least. Hey, Justine. I know, right? What did you walk in on? Well, do you remember that moon pie guy? He popped in and started to want to talk about poop again. And I was like, I don't want to talk about poop again. So that ended up on the fetish tip, and foot fetishists, here we are now. Except for poor Justin, who wants to talk about Brian May suffering a minor stroke. He can play. He's playing again now, Justin. So he's already rehabbing, and that's what's necessary when you have a stroke, is that you sorry, I got to make sure I haven't missed anything here. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, so that is the thing. When you have a stroke, you have to begin rehabbing immediately. And that's what he's doing. You have some poop coffee in your house from your sister Dana, her vacation to Peru, the marsupial poop coffee. Oh, ew. So you made coffee from beans that a marsupial pooped out? Does it taste nutty? That's all I can think of is fucking Austin Powers when he drinks Fat Bastard's poo and is like, nutty. Also, they charge a fortune for that marsupial shitted coffee. Oh, Red, yeah. I knew about the world. I just wasn't part of it, I mean, I was a club kid in the 90s in San Francisco. So 90s club San Francisco 90s club scene was very, very fetish adjacent. So I just kind of got used to it. I literally went to a club one time where, like, you would go to clubs and you would see people doing like piercing suspensions and stuff, like hanging from ropes by their nipple piercings and shit like that, and one time I walked into a club and they were piercing this girl's labia, and they pierced it like 3 times up and 3 times back, and everybody was just like, cuz she's like right there. We had the gynecologist view. Once you've seen stuff like that, I guess you're like, whatever, man. To each his own. Enjoy your jam. Hey, Christopher. You did laundry all day. Oh, I got to do laundry all this weekend. That is on my list of so many things to do. Justine, I have rested, but I am not better. I'm still so tired. But yeah, I just double checked, and I've been sleeping like 10 plus hours a night every night this week. Yeah, we cannot lose another LOSE. The other one is loose, as in screw loose. But yeah, we can't lose Brian. We're not ready for that. Civets? Is that what they're called? Those little marsupials that shit out there are actually more than one animal that shits out coffee beans. Hi, it's Simone.
Hi, can you play cocaine?
Oh, I think I can. I just played Layla. I got to double check and see how long ago I played Layla. But then if I haven't, I could play cocaine.
Thank you, Jesse.
Wait, who'd you call me?
What's your name?
What'd you call me?
I thought your name was Shasta.
No, Shasta goes home at 2. This is Nikki.
Oh, hi, Nikki.
Hi.
All right.
It doesn't affect whether or not I'll
Thank
play
you.
your song.
Thank you very much.
You got it. Take care, man.
Bye-bye.
Cheers. Did you notice all this week I have no contests and I have no phone calls? That's like the first call I've gotten almost literally all week. It is the civets. I swear there are other things that shit out coffee beans, but I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure there's like elephants that shit out coffee beans or something. There's whatever. Really, Justine? Do you think you're tired because you have psychologically predisposed yourself to be tired all day? I mean, at this point, I wake up so many times in the night and go back to sleep that I just get excited when I wake up and it's still only 4:00 in the morning and I can get another couple of hours in. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going back to sleep. Although today I woke up and I couldn't find the sleep mask. That didn't stop me. SFBS, whose real name is John? No. But your daughter's name, your daughter's band is what's in your avatar. I remember that much. It is John. Oh, I remembered. Holy shit. I need to buy a lottery ticket. I can't believe I remembered that. Yeah. Dude, clearly I forget everything. Civet is used in the fragrance world? That's weird. You sleep straight through the night still, Justine? You must be younger than I am. I'll tell you, about 10 years ago, I quit sleeping through the night. 10 might be an exaggeration. Maybe it was like 5. But yeah, sometime during the pandemic, I think it was. I stopped sleeping through the night, and now I just have life as a series of naps. Can't remember shit. I do remember that too. We're 2 months apart, and you still sleep through the night? Oh, fucking jelly. How do I get that? Not as bad as a beaver secretion used in ice cream. Gross. I basically make my own ice cream. Or I buy ice cream from like, a reputable company that only has like 3 ingredients in their ice cream. Or, not 3, but very few. Very few. Patchouli. I'll tell you what, Dan, the fastest way to make me gag is to let me smell patchouli oil. Ooh. Come on. How can you grow up in the Bay and not just be like so nauseated by patchouli? It's literally to cover the stench of death, which is what it does with hippies. Because hippies smell like death. Homemade ice cream is the shiz and the knit. I was just telling, who was I just talking to? Oh, my friend Aaron. I was telling him because he likes persimmons, and I have this persimmon ice cream recipe that is of the shit, which you would never expect. But my mom grows persimmons. So every year she dumps a bunch of persimmons on me, and they're kind of a pain to peel. But once you get your persimmon pulp, that shit makes incredible ice cream. You would not expect it, but it's amazing. You burn incense. Oh, yeah. I associate the smell of eucalyptus with the Bay as well, even though we've been taking out all those eucalyptus trees because it turns out it was a terrible idea to plant them. Oh, not only are they a shitty non-native species, but they keep falling over and catching fire and all kinds of terrible things. If patchouli is done right, it is nice. If by done right you mean not used, then yes. I've never, well, you know what? I wouldn't know. Perhaps I have been in the presence of patchouli and not been nauseated. However, every time I've been aware of the presence of patchouli, I have been nauseated. Most of the time that happens when I'm working hippie shows. So yeah, where I wear a Slayer t-shirt so that the hippies don't approach me. I was doing that before the South Park episode, by the way. So that as soon as South Park had that episode where it was like, hippies hate Slayer, I felt that one in my soul. Because I had already worked so many hippie shows at, oh, hang on a second. "1077 The Bone" and Van Halen singing about those hot summer nights that are almost behind us. Not quite yet. It is still in the 90s in my hood all this weekend. If you haven't heard, unfortunately, Jason Bonham had to leave the tour, the Best of All Worlds tour with Sammy Hagar recently. His mother had a medical emergency. We are hoping for the best. This is Jukebox here on 1077 The Bone. Oh, am I running early all of a sudden? Jesus. Come on, man. Never mind. Huh. All right, fine. Let's see. Huh. Still early. Go figure. And boom, right on time. All right. You're a redneck hippie? The Nag Champa. You know, Nag Champa was was definitely our incense of choice at the Warfield. Because if you can imagine the Warfield Theater, it has some very old plumbing. And despite regular maintenance, that men's shower room smelled really bad. So we would just always have like some sticks of Nag Champa burning right outside of it. What is Widowmakers? Oh, the eucalyptus trees. Yeah. Fucking terrible, man. Which is a bummer because I liked them. Van Halen is just the best, aren't they? You know, I've got to get Alex Van Halen's memoir autobiography when it comes out because I have so many questions. He's never really like opened up an interview. So we kind of have no idea what he's going to say because he hasn't told anybody anything. You know, usually there's like some, oh, yeah, I heard it's going to be this, or there'll be some interviews of like, oh, yeah, I've been writing about that. And all we know is it's about Eddie. It's about him and Eddie, and it's called Brothers. And that's all we know. Yeah, super mysterious. You know, and Wolfgang learned young to only say what he wants to say. And, you know, I mean, Jesus, that kid, you know, the child of a TV star and a rock star was just never not in the public eye, which was not fair. Yeah. And Alex is just I get the feeling that Alex is over it all and he's just going to say what he wants to say. He's not going to give a shit how it lands. He's got no band with a future that he's worried about. He's got nothing. There is nothing you can do to Alex Van Halen because all the worst has already happened. You know, he lost his brother. Their band is over. He's not going to give a shit about anyone's feelings. He's just going to say what he thinks. I think. I'm guessing. Because I get the feeling that's the guy he is, but who fucking knows? I could be completely wrong. He might put out some very polite and kind memoir story. I don't know, but I want to find out. October 22nd, that's when it comes out, and I am going to have an Audible credit just waiting for that. Yeah, Wolfgang is a fantastic musician, Jug. You're not kidding. I mean, I finally got to see him in person in Seattle this weekend, and he is adorable. Oh my God. Like, I just want to just joof his cheeks because he's like, I got this. Yeah. And he's just happy. You know, I don't know if he's, I mean, I don't know. Because you figure Eddie had his demons, you know, and Alex has always been kind of, "Rrr." And then Wolfgang is basically like his mom, right? Just America's sweetheart, but also with an edge because he trolls motherfuckers like on the internet. And it's so great. And just so talented. The music is catchy and entertaining, and the songs are well structured, and he shreds. He absolutely shreds. And I kind of love it. Honestly, I'm in the corner. I'm in the Wolfie corner, 100%. Right, Justine? Totally. Yeah, Red. I don't think Alex sold everything, you know. Oh, right. When I said my nose wasn't running that much lately, right? Um, I mean, I think Alex sold a lot of shit. I've heard reports that he sold every last stick, but I doubt it. You know, I'm sure that anyone at that level has some kind of a personal archive. And I'll bet you there's like a 78 kit that he's not parting with or something along those lines. But also, as Alex Van Halen, he could turn to his drum company at any time and be like, I need a kit, and they will send it. They will messenger it over immediately. They'll be like, yeah, give us the specs and we'll have it all brought over in an hour because he's fucking Alex Van Halen, you know? So the fact that he sold everything really is more of a symbolic gesture than anything. It's not like he's definitely not going to play music ever again because never say never. God, right, Red? That kid has shown the most amazing amount of restraint when it comes to David Lee Roth because David Lee Roth really went for him in the press, and it was super irritating. Like it was just plain mean. It wasn't even funny or entertaining or artistic. It was just, and it was very like delusional, you know? Like the story David told, like if you this is in my podcast with Steve Gorman. Like both of us completely agreed that the story he told made no sense, right? Like we're supposed to believe that in the 2000s somehow these people that Wolfgang supposedly had kicked out were the people carrying the checks, were the accountants, and they didn't have their own laminates. Like accountants don't need to be on the guest list. Accountants are already there with fucking tour laminates, you know? That's just not how it's done. And no one in this industry deals in checks anymore at all. Like it's either cash or it's direct deposit. Maybe there's some wires, but checks are so rare, and employee paychecks, never. Fucking never. I don't know any touring person that has been paid with a check. This is also why we think it was like total bullshit with the Journey thing, right? Because you've got Jonathan Cain implying that Neil Sean's spending is somehow affecting their ability to pay the crew. And it's like bullshit. Fucking bullshit. I'll call bullshit right out the gate on that one because no one on your crew is waiting on a check because of Neil's spending. Everyone on your crew is getting their paycheck direct deposited weekly or bi-weekly, just like everyone else in the whole fucking touring industry at that level. At most levels, you know, there are some smaller bands that might like give people PDs and then pay them at the end of the tour, but no, fucking no. That's just not how it works. So that's how I knew like instantly David Lee Roth was full of shit. Like full of shit from the get. Oh, you saw him on the Metallica tour too? So good, right? I'm super bummed I missed him in Phoenix. I got stuck in traffic. And by the time I got to the Phoenix show, he'd already played. So this time around, I made absolutely sure I was there early so I could catch his whole set. And he was fantastic. His band was fantastic. They all were really great. Oh, exactly, Red. Yeah. Like David Lee Roth made a whole video and story and posted on YouTube. And it was clearly a direct attack at Wolfgang. And also it was clearly a fucking lie. Like it was a total fabrication. But at no point did David Lee Roth come out and say, hey, this isn't about Wolfgang. And hey, I made this up. And hey, this is my creative art product. No. He fucking put it out there like it was true. Roth's got cocaine brain. Yeah. He's probably got cocaine other things too. I'm just saying. Wouldn't surprise me. And I've defended David Lee Roth. I went to his Vegas residency the first time around, and it was so fun. I was entertained. He had this band of young kids, and they were super talented. He would turn around and tell them anything, and they would play it. He would be like, play me a little of this, a little of that. Like he was naming songs, like old songs that were older than these kids. And he would name the song and they would start covering it. And on top of all of the David Lee Roth solo and Van Halen material, these kids, boom, knew it. They were super talented. I wonder where they went. I would love to see them turn up somewhere. And I enjoyed myself because David Lee Roth is a character and he was super fun and he was telling great stories and he wasn't being mean, you know, he was just having a good time. And I think that's where David Lee Roth needs to live, is in that space where he's just having a good time and telling stories from what he remembers and not making shit up and not going after people and not trying to like get attention by going after his bandmate's kid. Like that's some dirtbag shit. And I can't get past it. And I can't listen to David Lee Roth since, really. I just don't want to. I have the same problem with Kiss. You know, I love Kiss. I grew up loving Kiss. But after a while, I just didn't want to go see them anymore because Gene Simmons is such a misogynist twat. It doesn't make the music worse. It just makes my association with it to the point where I would rather do something else. And you know what? I got a lot of other things I could do. I don't know if you noticed. I do a lot of things. Hold on a second here. I got to figure this out. "1077 The Bone" and Ozzy Osbourne with "No More Tears." I'm Nikki Blakk, and your San Francisco 49ers are back, baby. The season opens Monday night at home at Levi's Stadium, taking on the New York Jets. We have got the Lamont and Tonelli pregame show for the Bones tailgate party, sponsored by Old Princeton Landing, starting at 2:15 in the afternoon. Pregame is at 4:15, kickoff is at 5:15, and then every play of the game is right here in bone-crushing stereo. Also, be sure to listen to Lamont and Snelly tomorrow morning because at 8:41 a.m., they are going to give away their last pair of 49er tickets this week. Just, you know, a little bird told me what time it's going to happen. Set your alarm. Be listening to 1077 The Bone. All right, you guys, I just realized how fucking late it is. I should get going. Also, I need water. I am thirsty. I can only drink so much coffee before I start to get thirsty. Does that make sense? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, actually, I can't imagine Page and Plant talking shit about Jason Bonham because they did when his band Bonham came out. Remember how I don't know if you remember this, but when Bonham came out, it sounded like a Led Zeppelin ripoff. And I remember seeing an interview with Robert Plant where he was like, "What the fuck? Why is he coming out sounding like that and calling the band Bonham? You're not Bonham. Your dad was Bonham. You don't play like that. Your dad played like that." Like it was a whole thing. But, you know, they've since moved past it. And it was a legitimate criticism. I remember they were very supportive of Jason Bonham and his new musical venture until he released it, and then it sounded like a Led Zeppelin ripoff, and he called it Bonham, and they were like, "The fuck, kid." And then also Jason Bonham had a well-publicized alcohol problem that I think made him less desirable to be around. But obviously they got all past that too, and he's been in recovery. And so, oh, Justine, you don't have to hate him, but yeah, I get it. I get the sentiment 100%. You're still haunted by Kiss Meets the Phantom. That was a long time ago, dude. Star Child. Yeah. Okay, we're all still a little haunted by it. But that was the point, right? It's a phantom. Get it? Haunted by phantom. Ba-dum-bum. You got COVID, PJ? How did you catch COVID and I can't catch COVID? Son of a bitch. And I get paid sick days and you don't, right? Marina to King. Ugh. I don't know how you do that job, dude. I could not. Yeah, I don't think anybody's a Gene Simmons fan anymore. I mean, did you notice his solo stuff is not that popular? Except in South America. Still very popular there. There's a lot to love for Ozzy and Sabbath, and I'm glad to hear it, Justine. You don't have to be a secret Sabbath fan. You can be a out and proud Sabbath fan. Yeah, have a good night, Brian. I wish I could have seen Zeppelin anytime, prime or no prime. I wish I could have seen Zeppelin sloppy drunk and fucking up all over the place just to have seen Led Zeppelin. But the videos are good. And that new Zeppelin documentary is supposed to have some very early Led Zeppelin footage that's never been seen before. So that will be exciting. Fair. No, Justine, I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying you don't have to have that level of like energy towards him. But yeah, I get the sentiment 100%. Good night, PJ. If you do have the vid, drink stupid amounts of water and get lots of sleep because that's the only thing that makes you feel better. Feel free to forgive Hanna-Barbera. They had great cartoons. All right, guys. Sabbath. I'll play Sabbath on the Metal Zone Saturday night, guaranteed. And and I'll talk to you tomorrow. It'll probably be later in the afternoon since more people seem to be able to tap in later than earlier. But it'll be less. It'll probably be like 4 to 5 because I'll have weekend stuff that I've got to get done. See you guys.